Yes. Good morning. In the last class, we were solving some of the difficult problems that were given in last NEET examination, and I was asked to solve problem number 25 as well. We had probably solved three problems yesterday, and I was even asked to solve problem number 25, which was based on geometric progression. See, in problem number 25, it was said that charges are arranged at distances x is equals to 1 meter, 2 meter, 4 meter, 8 meter, and so on from a fixed origin. This is fixed origin, and from this fixed origin at distances of 1 meter, 2 meter, 4 meter, 8 meter, and so on. Some charges, say plus q each, are arranged, right? Charges each of magnitude q are arranged at distances 1 meter, 2 meter, 4 meter, 8 meter, and so on up to infinity, right? From some fixed origin O. You are asked to find out net electric field at O. Net electric field at O due to all these charges. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. See, infinite number of charges are arranged at different distances from this point. We know that electric field intensity due to a point charge at some point. Electric field intensity at a point due to a point charge is given by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by r square, where r is the distance between charge and the given point. R is the distance between charge and the given point. Now, since we are given a group of charges, we will have to make use of superposition principle to find electric field intensity at this point due to all these charges. Now, decide the direction of electric field at point O due to all the charges. See, all the charges are positive. ಇಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಅವೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ electric field at point O should be radially outward. We know that electric field at a point due to positive charge must be outward. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ outward, ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ outward, ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಇಂದ outward, so on. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ due to all such infinite charges, electric field at point O is outward. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ all such electric fields must be added or they have to be subtracted. ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Whether all the electric fields have to be added or they have to be subtracted. Whether all the electric fields have to be added or they have to be subtracted. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಹತ್ರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಇಂದಲೂ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಒಂದೇ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ all the electric fields are to be added or they have to be subtracted. They have to be added. So net electric field find out ಮಾಡೋಣ. We will find out the net electric field at point O. Net electric field at O due to all the charges is E is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q will be the common factor. ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q common ಬರುತ್ತೆ because the charges are the same. Into 1 by first distance is 1 meter 1 square plus 1 by next distance is 2 square is 4 plus 1 by next distance each charge in the area current charge in the point of distance is 4 square is 16 plus so on up to infinity, plus so on up to infinity, right? So on up to infinity. Now can you identify what kind of progression this is? You have a series here, you have a series here. 1 by 1 square is 1, 1 by 4, 1 by 16, so on. What kind of a series is this? Or what kind of progression this is? This is AP or this is GP? Q by R alla. Electric field intensity is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R square. 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R square. Electric field intensity is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Only 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into Q will come out as the common factor, and distance of the point, distance of origin from the charges are different. Distance of the origin from the charges are different. First charge is at a distance of 1 meter from the origin. Next charge is placed at a distance of 2 meter from the origin. Next charge is placed at a distance of 4 meter from the origin. Distances are different and electric field is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Potential kelila, field kelala. Potential is inversely proportional to R. Electric field is inversely proportional to square of R. Right? Our proportionality is both. So only 1 by 4 pi epsilon and into Q will come out as the common factor into 1 by R1 square, 1 square. Next plus 1 by R2 square, 2 square is 4. 1 by R3 square, 4 square is 16 and so on. And this is in GP. This sequence is in GP. 1 by 4, 1 by 16, 1 by 64, so on. In this, the first term is 1. First term is 1 and the common ratio is 1 by 4. Correct? Common ratio T2 by T1. 1 by 4 by 1 is 1 by 4. 1 by 16 by 1 by 4 is 1 by 4. 1 by 64 by 1 by 4, 1 by 16 will be 1 by 4 and so on. So this is in GP. So I can write E as equal to 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into Q. 1 by 4 epsilon is 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into Q into, see, sum of infinite terms of GP. Sum of infinite terms of GP is A divided by 1 minus R. A divided by 1 minus R, sum of infinite terms of GP. So this will be 9 into 10 to the power of 9 into Q into what is A? 1 divided by 1 minus 1 by 4. 1 minus R is 1 by 4. 1 minus 1 by 4 is 3 by 4. Denominator of denominator goes to numerator. 4 by 3 I3. 9 4s are 3 1s are 3 3s are 3 4s are 12 into 10 to the power of 9. 3 4s are 12 into 10 to the power of 9 into Q. Newton per coulomb. Newton per coulomb. This is how this kind of problems are to be solved. ನೀವು ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಇದು ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ಫೈನೈಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆನ್ ಜಿಪಿ. ನಮಗೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟರ್ಸ್ ಅದೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇನ್ಫೈನೈಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಡರ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಜಿಪಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇನ್ಫೈನೈಟ್ ಲ್ಯಾಡರ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಪಾಸಿಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ ಜಾಮೆಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರೆಷನ್. Right? Is this clear? If are clear, ನಾನು ಕಾಮನ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಓದಿಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೆ. I have taken the common factor directly. 1 by 4 pi epsilon not Q by R1 square plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon not Q by R2 square plus 1 by 4 pi epsilon not Q by R3 square ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ನಾನು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. Is this clear? ಈ ಟೈಪ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನಾನು ಮಾಡಿಸಿನ. I have solved this kind of problem. I have solved this kind of problem. ಇದರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. ಮಾಡಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. ಏನಂತ ಮಾಡಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು? From the fixed origin, charges plus Q minus Q plus Q minus Q are arranged alternately at distances of 1 meter, 2 meter, 4 meter, 8 meter, so on up to infinity. Andre the alternate charges will be of opposite kind. First positive charge and next negative charge. Next positive charge, next negative charge. Positive negative. ಹೀಗಿದ್ದಾಗ first term will be positive. Next term will be negative. The other term will be positive. Next term will be negative. ಇಲ್ಲಿ R ಏನಲ್ಲ, R becomes negative. Minus 1 by 4 divided by 1. R becomes negative. Minus 1 by 4 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 1 minus of minus 1 by 4. ಅಂದ್ರೆ that may becomes 5 by 4. 5 by 4 ಆಗ್ತದೆ. 5 by 4 ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 4 by 5. Denominator. That can be evaluated. Alternate charges may be made negative. Is this problem clear? Doubt ಅದ ಇದ್ರಾಗ ಏನಾದರೂ? The problem on GP. Is this clear? If this is clear, we'll start dual nature of radiation and matter. Gauss law ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಗಾಸ್ ಲಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಕೂಡ ತೆಗೆದಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಗಾಸ್ ಲಾನ ಒಂದು ಅಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇತ್ತು, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಎ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಶೆಲ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಮೂವ್ಡ್. ಅದು ತೆಗೆದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಈಗ ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ನಾಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಶೀಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನಾಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರೋಸ್ಟಾಟಿಕ್ ಶೀಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತದೆ, ಅದು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗಾಸ್ ಲಾ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಗಾಸ್ ಲಾ ನಾಗ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಡ್ಯೂ ಟು ಎ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಸ್ಪೆರಿಕಲ್ ಶೆಲ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿ ನೋನ್. Will somehow cover it. Anyway, so this is all regarding the problems on electric charges and fields. See, as far as electric charges and fields is concerned, try to solve problems on calculation of charge. Q is equals to N into E formula use ಮಾಡಿ calculations calculate. Charge redistribution ಮೇಲೆ formula problems ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ charge redistribution ಆಗ್ತದಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ force calculation ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. You must remember force is proportional to product of the charge. ಇದಷ್ಟೇ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನೇಟ್ಲಿ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ರೈಟ್? ಈ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಾಲಿಟೀಸ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಆದಷ್ಟು. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಪೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ. ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಪೋರ್ಷನಾಲಿಟೀಸ್. ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ರೀಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ, ರೈಟ್? ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ನಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಸಿ, ದ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಝೀರೋ. ಲೈಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಗೆ ಅನ್ಲೈಕ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಗೆ ಹೌ ಗಿವನ್ ಯು ದ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, right? How to solve those kind of problems. Pendulum problems ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, time period of oscillation of pendulum, ಆಮೇಲೆ tension developed in the string, right? What will be the equations of motion for a charged particle placed in electric field at rest? Equations of motion of a charged particle entering electric field at right angles. ಎರಡು equations ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು, right? Go through them, try solving these kind of problems. Will try to solve more kind of problems, more MCQs. Again, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ವಿಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮೋರ್ MCQs. ನೀವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಡೌಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ, ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಟಫ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ ದಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ರೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬೋರ್ಡ್, ರೈಟ್? ಈಗ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 40 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 10 ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕ್ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವೆ, ಅವನ್ನ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೀ ದ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನಂಬರ್, I'll solve it on the board, right? So this is regarding electric charges and fields. And as far as the real nature of radiation and matter is concerned, real nature of radiation and matter, this chapter mainly focuses on understanding of photoelectric effect. This chapter mainly focuses on understanding of photoelectric effect, before which we have also studied about electron emission. See, we know what is meant by electron emission. The process of emitting or ejecting an electron from a metal surface by supplying suitable amount of energies is called as electron emission, right? The process of ejecting electrons from a metal surface. We know that a metal contains large number of free electrons. There will be large number of free electrons on the metal surface. Can we remove these electrons from the metal surface without supplying any energy? And no. In order to remove these electrons from the metal surface, we need to supply energy to them. If we supply the energy that is sufficient for them to overcome the surface barrier, I have told you, as long as the electrons are on the metal surface will be electrically neutral. Metal surface will be electrically neutral. Once the electron tries to come out of the metal surface, ಈ electron ಏನಾದರೂ metal surface ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, the metal surface has lost an electron. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ the metal surface must acquire. Now the metal surface must acquire. Electron is trying to come out of the metal surface. So the metal surface is losing an electron. So what kind of charge should be developed on the metal surface? What kind of charge should be developed on the metal surface? The metal surface should develop positive charge, and this positive charge pulls the electron back onto the metal surface. Electron ಏನಾದರೂ ತಂತಾನೆ metal surface ನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ, the metal surface develops positive charge and brings the electron back onto the metal surface. So the surface of the metal will not allow the electron to go out of it. ಈ surface of metal ಏನದಲ್ಲ, ಈ surface electron ನ ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ. That is called as a surface barrier. That is called as surface barrier. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ In order to overcome this surface barrier, electron needs some energy. That energy can be supplied to the electron in three ways, right? One, you can supply energy in the form of heat. Two, you can supply energy in the form of light. And three, you can supply energy in the form of electric field. We have three types of electron emission: thermionic emission, photoelectric emission, and field emission. The process of ejecting electron from metal surface by supplying suitable amount of heat energy to it is called as thermionic emission. By supplying or by allowing light of suitable frequency to fall on it. When we allow light of suitable frequency, light energy and frequency and when light of suitable frequency is allowed to fall on the metal surface, electrons get ejected out of it. This process is called as photoelectric emission. And when you apply suitable electric field to a metal surface, the electrons in the metal surface get detached out of it. If you apply strong electric field to it, the electron get detached out of it. That process of ejecting electron from a metal surface by applying suitable high electric fields is called as field emission. These are the electron emissions which we have studied. And the main focus area of this chapter is photoelectric effect. See, you must be knowing the laws of photoelectric effect. Laws of photoelectric effect. There are basically 5 laws of photoelectric effect. Photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. Photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. That means as soon as light is incident on the metal surface, electron gets ejected out. Light ಬಿದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತದೆ ಮೆಟಲ್ ಸರ್ಫೇಸ್ ಇಂದ. ಲೈಟ್ ಬಿದ್ದು ಒಂದು 15 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರೋದು, 20 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರೋದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. As soon as light is incident on the metal surface, electron gets ejected out of the metal surface. If this is a metal surface, and if light is incident on the metal surface, immediately the electron gets ejected out. As soon as light is incident, electron gets ejected out of the metal surface. Because of this reason, photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process. Einstein have explained as to why photoelectric effect is instantaneous. We have also studied about Einstein's explanation of photoelectric effect. According to Einstein, light is made up of tiny elastic particles called photons. Light is made up of tiny elastic particles called photons. Each photon is associated with an energy E is equals to h nu. One photon hatranu energy ade. Photon, now we call it as a packet of energy. Photon is nothing but a packet of energy. I have told you the idea of packet of energy. Iga namige apple gottala, apple is a source of energy. Namige energy direct sigalla. Apple tindre apple inda energy bartade namige. Apple contains energy. We say apple is a packet of energy. When we consume that apple, we gain energy. Similarly, when an electron absorbs a photon, whenever an electron absorbs the photon, the electron gains energy, and if that energy is sufficient for the electron to come out of the metal surface, it gets ejected out of the metal surface. One photon hatra ಎಷ್ಟು energy ಇತ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ. Energy associated with each photon is E is equals to h into nu, where h is Planck's constant and nu is frequency of light. Nu is frequency of light. Light ಏನಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಅದು frequency. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ we can write energy of photon is proportional to frequency of light. H is Planck's constant. So energy of photon is directly proportional to frequency of light. More is the frequency of the light, more is the energy of each photon. Light frequency ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಆ ಲೈಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಲೈಟ್ ಏನು photons ಇಂದ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, that photon will have greater energies, right? Okay. According to Einstein, the collision between photon and an electron is taken to be a perfectly inelastic collision. What kind of collision? We have discussed about it. Why photoelectric effect is an instantaneous process of collision. There exists collision between photon and an electron. What kind of collision takes place between photon and an electron? According to Einstein, what kind of a collision takes place between photon and an electron? Photon comes enters the metal surface and hits the electron. What kind of collision occurs between photon and an electron according to Einstein? Perfectly elastic collision or perfectly inelastic collision? What kind of a collision occurs? What kind of a collision occurs? ನೆನಪದ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ collision ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೀನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. What kind of collision occurs? According to Einstein, the collision between photon and an electron is a perfectly elastic collision, as a result of which, as soon as photon strikes the electron gets ejected out of the metal surface. Electron gets ejected out of the metal surface. This is instantaneousness of photoelectric effect. This is the first law. Idamele he speaks about threshold frequency. Photoelectric effect na threshold frequency anta define ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. There exists particular frequency of incident light below which photoelectric emission does not take place. Sir, now light ಬಿಟ್ಟ ತಕ್ಷಣ metal surface ಇಂದ electron ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. You have to allow light of certain suitable frequency. ಅವಾಗಷ್ಟೇ electron eject ಆಗ್ತದೆ metal surface ಇಂದ. If you allow light of frequency less than threshold frequency, no electron gets ejected out. I have told you, energy of photon is proportional to frequency of light. Correct? Energy of a photon is E is equals to h nu. H is Planck's constant. So energy of photon is proportional to frequency of light. Hagadri frequency of light is less than threshold frequency. If frequency of light is less than threshold frequency, the energy of photon will also be less. If frequency of light is less, energy of photon will also be less. Hagadre, if an electron absorbs that less energy photon, if an electron absorbs less energy photon, will that electron be capable of coming out of the metal surface, overcoming surface barrier? Will that electron be capable of coming out of the metal surface, overcoming the surface barrier? Electron photon absorb ಮಾಡಿದೆ, but ಆ photon energy ಬಹಳ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ. ಆ photon energy ಎಷ್ಟು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ electron ಗೆ surface barrier ನ overcome ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. surface barrier ದ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಯಾವಾಗ electron metal surface ಇಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡ್ತದೋ ಈ metal surface positive charge ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತದೆ. Positive charge will try to bring the electron back onto the metal surface. ಈ electron ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? It has to overcome this force of attraction. ಅಂದ್ರೆ electron must have sufficient energy. ಯಾವಾಗ sufficient energy ಸಿಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ when frequency of light has a particular value. So that particular value of frequency of incident light below which photoelectric emission does not take place is called as threshold frequency. It is called as threshold frequency, right? So threshold frequency idea is quite important. And do you remember what is that minimum energy required to remove an electron from the metal surface called as? Minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from a metal surface called as? What is that minimum amount of energy required by an electron to remove or required to remove an electron from metal surface called as? Very good. That is called as work function. You must also remember what is work function. Work function is the minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from the metal surface. Work function is given by h nu naught. Work function is nothing but energy. Work function is nothing but energy. H nu naught. Work function is given by h nu naught. Right? See, we can write speed of light as c is equals to mu lambda. Speed of light can be written as frequency into wavelength. C is equals to mu into lambda. Hagadre mu can be written as c by lambda. ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರ್ತಾವ ಡಿಎಲ್ ನೇಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ರೇಡಿಯೇಷನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ ನಾಗೆ ಇಂಟರ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಬಹಳ ಇರ್ತಾವ. ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಈಸ್ mu into lambda, frequency into wavelength. So frequency can be written as c by lambda. C is speed of light, 3 × 10 to the power 8 meters per second. Okay. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ mu naught can be written as mu is equal to c by lambda. So mu naught can be written as c by lambda, where lambda naught is called as threshold wavelength. Mu naught can be written as c by lambda naught, where lambda naught is called as threshold wavelength. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ರಿಟನ್ as h c by lambda. Work function can be written as h nu naught in terms of threshold frequency. Work function can also be written as hc by lambda naught in terms of threshold wavelength. In terms of threshold wavelength. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ in order to eject an electron from the metal surface, in order to eject an electron from metal surface, work function should be either greater than or equal to h nu naught. Correct? Work function is nothing but energy required. Work function must be greater than or equal to h nu naught. Correct? Tappa? In order to eject an electron from the metal surface, the energy that must be supplied to the electron must be exactly equal to h nu naught, or it can be greater than h nu naught. Correct? Tappa idu? Options hinge bartave. In order to eject an electron from the metal surface, work function must be less than or equal to h nu naught. Work function must be equal to h nu naught. Work function can be greater than or equal to h nu naught. Work function must be equal to 0. ಈ ರೀತಿ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. Wrong? Is this wrong? Wrong? See, in order to remove electron from the metal surface, a minimum of h nu naught energy is required. Minimum ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕು? h nu naught energy ಬೇಕು. Minimum ಅಂದ್ರೆ h nu naught energy ಬೇಕು. h nu naught ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿನಿ. The energy of photon is used by the electron in two ways. ಎರಡು ರೀತಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. A part of the energy of the photon is used by the electron to just come out of the metal surface. That is called work function. Remaining part ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ? ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೀನ್ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ನಾವು ಹೇಳೋದಲ್ಲ. ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೀನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. W is equal to h nu naught ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ electron will just come out of the metal surface. If you give energy greater than h nu naught, what happens to that greater part of the energy? h nu naught is sufficient to just come out. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿರೋ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೂಡ ಐನ್ಸ್ಟೀನ್ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ. Remaining part of the energy is used as kinetic energy by the electron. Minimum ಅಂದ್ರೆ h nu naught ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಹೊರಗೆ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತದೆ? ಏನಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಹೊರಗೂ ಬರ್ತದೆ, ಫರ್ದರ್ ಮೂವ್ನು ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Electron will get kinetic energy. So this is the condition that must be satisfied in order for the electron to get ejected from the metal surface. Work function must be greater than or equal to h nu naught, or the energy required must be greater than or equal to h nu naught. If you supply this amount of energy, you will be able to remove or eject an electron from the metal surface. So minimum amount of energy ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ h nu naught, ಇದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೂ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. That minimum amount of energy required to eject electron from metal surface is known as work function. This is work function in terms of threshold frequency. This can also be written as hc by lambda naught. Nu naught can be written as c by lambda. Nu naught can be written as c by lambda. Lambda naught is called as threshold wavelength. Lambda naught is called as threshold wavelength. We know what is threshold wavelength. Threshold frequency ಮತ್ತು threshold wavelength exact opposite definition ಬರ್ತವೆ. Threshold frequency is the minimum frequency below which photoelectric emission does not take place. Threshold wavelength is the maximum wavelength above which photoelectric emission does not take place. Threshold wavelength is the maximum wavelength above which photoelectric emission does not take place. Suppose threshold wavelength is 5000 angstrom ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Threshold wavelength is 5000 angstrom. ಇದರ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನಂತಂದ್ರೆ photoelectric emission can be observed up to 5000 angstrom. As long as wavelength of light is up to 5000 angstrom, you can observe photoelectric emission. Can you observe photoelectric emission with light of wavelength 5100 angstrom? With light of wavelength 5100 angstrom, can you observe photoelectric effect? Illala. So threshold wavelength is the maximum wavelength above which photoelectric emission does not take place, right? So this is regarding the idea of threshold frequency and the threshold wavelength. Hagadre, how can you calculate threshold wavelength or threshold frequency? We have W is equal to h nu naught. So nu naught can be written as W by h. Nu naught can be written as W by h. This is the formula for calculating threshold frequency. Also, we have work function is equal to h c by lambda naught. This nu naught can be written as c by lambda. Hagadre, threshold wavelength lambda naught can be calculated as h c by W. If you know the work function, you can calculate threshold frequency. If you know the work function, you can calculate threshold wavelength. H is Planck's constant, 6.62 × 10⁻⁻34 joule second. SI unit of Planck's constant is joule second. Then put it. SI unit of Planck's constant is joule second. Value of c, speed of light is 3 × 10⁸ meter per second. Substitutions ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಆಯ್ತಾ. So remember these values. This is regarding work function in terms of threshold frequency and in terms of threshold wavelength. Is this clear? Second law completely describes, second law of photoelectric effect completely describes only regarding threshold frequency, right? So this was regarding the second law of photoelectric effect. Third law speaks about the relationship between intensity of incident light and the photocurrent. I have told you what is meant by photocurrent. Whenever light is incident on the metal surface, when light of suitable frequency is incident on the metal surface, electrons get ejected out of the metal surface and the electrons move again start after. Movement of electrons constitute current. Electron move ಆದರೆ current ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರೋದು ಯಾವ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್? ಫೋಟೋ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್. ಇವನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಫೋಟೋ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬೇಕು? Because these are the electrons that are ejected out of the metal surface because of incident light. Light is nothing but photo. Photonನೇ ನಾವು ಲೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಲೈಟ್ ಬಿದ್ದಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಎಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ನ ಫೋಟೋ ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬೇಕು. Electrons ejected during photoelectric effect. Electrons ejected during photoelectric effect are called as photoelectrons. ಈ electrons move ಆದರೆ current ಬರ್ತದೆ. Photoelectrons move ಆದರೆ current ಬರ್ತದೆ. The current constituted by photoelectrons. Current constituted by photoelectrons is called as photocurrent. Current constituted by photoelectrons is called as photocurrent. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫೋಟೋ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಫೋಟೋ ಕರೆಂಟ್ is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. Above threshold frequency, photoelectric effect takes place. Above this threshold frequency, it is observed that photo current is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. Photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. More is the intensity of incident light, more is the intensity of incident light, more is the photocurrent. Less is the intensity of incident light, less is the photocurrent. ನೀವು ಲೈಟ್ ದ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದಂಗೆಲ್ಲ photocurrent ಕೂಡ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. Provided frequency of light is below threshold frequency. Correct? If frequency of light is below threshold frequency, will there be any photocurrent? If frequency of light is below threshold frequency, will there be any photocurrent? Photocurrent ಅಂದ್ರೆ movement of electrons. If frequency of incident light is below threshold frequency, photocurrent ಇರ್ತದ? ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಾನ್ ಎಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ below threshold frequency, photocurrent ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತದೆ? ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕು. Above threshold frequency, photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. Sir, intensity ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Intensity ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, intensity ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Intensity is defined as the amount of energy. Intensity is defined as the amount of energy flowing per unit area per unit time normally. One surface ಮೂಲಕ ಈ surface area 1 meter square ಇರುತ್ತೆ. The area of this surface must be 1 meter square. The amount of energy flowing per unit area per second normally. ಈ 1 meter square area ಒಳಗೆ 1 ಸೆಕೆಂಡಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ. More is the amount of energy flowing per unit area per second. 1 second ನಾಗೆ 1 meter square area ನಾಗೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅದೇ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದೇ 1 meter square area ನಾಗೆ 1 second ನಾಗೆ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆದ್ರೆ we say intensity of light is or intensity is very less. Intensity is very less. So this is the formula for intensity which you must remember. Monday 2020 NEET ಒಳಗೆ there was a problem on intensity. Intensity formula ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. Intensity is defined as amount of energy flowing per unit area per unit time normally. One surface ಒಳಗೆ 1 ಸೆಕೆಂಡಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ intensity. We'll solve problem on it. I'll send that question to you. Last NEET ನಾನು ಬಂದಿದ್ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಂಟೆನ್ಸಿಟಿ ನಾಲದೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ. How thought you the formula? Energy divided by area into time. Area of the surface into time, right? So more is the intensity of incident light, more will be the photocurrent. Less is the intensity of incident light, less is the photocurrent. This is the third law of photoelectric current. However, if you are asked to plot a graph between photocurrent and intensity of incident light, if you are asked to plot graph between intensity of incident light and photocurrent, intensity of incident light and photocurrent, the graph will be a straight line passing through origin. The graph between photocurrent and intensity of incident light will be a straight line passing through origin, right? Einstein gives an explanation for it again. Einstein's explanation on ಬರ್ಸಿರ್ತೀನಿ. Why photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity of incident light ಅಂತ. Law ನಾಗ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, above threshold frequency photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. Einstein explains why photocurrent is directly proportional to intensity of incident light. Einstein explains